Hello everyone, it is I, Lady Gaga. Abracadabra, na, abracadabra, moza ugaga. And I'm here to tell you that I want to welcome you to I want to welcome you to Alone in a Room starring me, Lady Gaga. Poker face. Because I am gonna sit with you, me, Lady Gaga, as we sit alone in a room. Don't call tonight. I'm sorry, sometimes Lady Gaga forgets her own lyrics. But do you know what song I always love? I can play the doctor, I can cure your disease. If you were a sinner, I could make you believe. Lay me down like 1, 2, 3. Eyes roll back in ecstasy. I know all your secrets, I can cure your disease. Lady Gaga, please go, get back in the closet. Stay back, and Lady Gaga, you hijacker. You're taking over my podcast. Girl, you're crazy. You're insane for that. Oh my gosh. You guys, I don't know. Sometimes Lady Gaga just kind of escapes and she just kind of like takes over. So I do apologize. I apologize on Lady Gaga's behalf on that one. Hi, it's me, Connor Lewis. Welcome back to Alone in a Room as I sit all alone in a room. And today I am joined by a very special guest. All hail Khaleesi. Khaleesi, do you have anything to say to the fans? My name is Khaleesi. I am mother of dragons, and I sit on the Iron Throne. Yes, everyone give it up for the Khaleesi. For the Khaleesi, the mother of dragons. The mother of dragons is here in my room. No, Gaga, you get back. Get back in there. Thank you. Oh, you guys, I'm feeling some type of way. Today because I had plans to come here and record for y'all, as a good host does. I left you in the dust last week, so apologize for that. But as a good host does, I bounce back and I give you guys the content that you're begging and craving, and you're please, and I am that mother bird barfing it up into your mouths for you today because I'm back. And like I said, in true gay fashion, not only am I joined by the mother of dragons, the breaker of chains, the Khaleesi of the great grass sea, by Mother Lady Gaga, but in true gay fashion, we are drinking a cold brew today. And I just woke up from a nap. Hey, I like to be honest with you guys. And when I lie, I call it out, okay? I'm a truth teller. Okay, I like to be honest. I did not just wake up from a nap. I felt myself falling asleep coming home from work today, and I had a beautiful sandwich, not moldy. I don't even know if I fucking told that story here. Oh, y'all want to hear? Okay. If I have told this story before, I'm sorry, but this is probably one of the funniest content riddled things that has happened to me in the last 4 years, okay? So here I am, shopping at Publix. Quick tangent. Okay, I'll get back to the cold brew real quick. I'm joined by a cold brew today. I'm actually not a super big cold brew drinker. Is it watered down? Yeah, okay, because I napped. And then I woke up 2 hours. Not 2 hours later, I felt myself falling. Finish the story! Holy shit! Tell the story, then finish it. It's not that hard. I felt myself falling asleep after having a sandwich, and I said to my little assistant right there, not the Khaleesi, she's my queen, okay? My little assistant right here, that's gonna be Siri. I said, set an alarm for 35 minutes, because that's a power nap in legal terms. 35-minute power nap. And you know what? I committed and I woke up, and I did not fall back asleep after that timer went off. What did I do instead, you may ask? I opened TikTok. I opened up TikTok and I scrolled for 2.5 hours. And I had this burst of energy, helped by a sip of watered down cold brew that I found in my bathroom because I had left it there, because when I come home, first thing I do is immediately go to the bathroom. Now, I'm rejuvenated by watered down cold brew. And let's get into the story. Picture this. Connor Lewis is shopping at Publix, where shopping is most certainly a pleasure. And I see, y'all know, the real ones know pub subs, okay? What do I get on my pub sub? I'm so glad you asked. Here's the information. I get a whole sub on white bread. Now, bear in mind, I have not changed this order in years. I stick to the same exact pub sub. I don't do chicken tender sub. I don't do any specialty subs. I get the same thing. If it's on sale, bonus! But same thing every time. It's gonna be a whole sub on white bread. Then I get Publix turkey, yellow American cheese, extra onions, lettuce, extra bell peppers, salt, pepper, extra oregano, and then a small line of the chipotle mayonnaise. Now, I'm not a big mayonnaise person. I'm talking Hellmann's mayonnaise, the white mayonnaise. Vile, that's disgusting. What is that, beat egg over and over? Is that like whipped cream for eggs? Hellmann's mayonnaise is egg whipped cream. Get so for real. But the chipotle mayonnaise hits different because it got spice. It's not just raw egg. I don't even know if mayonnaise is raw egg. I assume it is. That's what I heard one time when I was probably 6 years old, and it stuck with my mind ever since. And I said, never again. Never again will I put raw egg into my mouth. Only unborn fetuses that are eggs are going into my mouth, the mouth of Donald J. Trump. And so Chipotle mayonnaise, I get that on. Small line, because what am I? Blanco. I am white, okay? So too much spice, it's gonna be a little too much for me. It's gonna hurt my mouth and give me canker sores if I get too much spice. But I've been in my spice era. I've been getting more and more spicy stuff as of late. Imagine my surprise when I'm shopping through the aisles of Publix and I see at the deli that they sell that little tub of Chipotle mayonnaise. Boar's Head gourmet Chipotle mayonnaise for $4.95, I think. And I said, you're coming home with me. You're actually going in my basket for my convenience, okay? Because of that, I said, well, obviously, I need deli meat if I'm getting Chipotle mayonnaise, okay? So I go to the deli and I order myself some meat. I get my Publix turkey breast. And if I'm making a meat sandwich, if I make a meat sandwich, a big ol' honky-tonk meat sandwich at home, I'm getting sweet ham and, of course, yellow American cheese. And then I'm buying myself an onion. I'm gonna dice that bitch up, put it in a container because I put onions on everything in their mother. Everything on the planet, I'm putting an onion on it. In true Grinch fashion, okay? Now, do I need bread? No, I have bread at home. I'm good. I'm so good. Ooh, I come home and I'm like, it's sandwich time. It's sandwich time, everyone. So I make the gourmetest of sandwiches. I am Chef Ramsay in the kitchen, not an idiot sandwich. It's a Chipotle mayonnaise sandwich, okay? And I put meat and I bool. Oh, okay, but to preface this story, previous night, the reason I went to Publix was because it was leftover night, okay? So I'm pulling out leftovers from my fridge, and it's a little bit of jambalaya rice, some leftover meat, whatever leftover vegetable I had. I said, let's call it a meal. I'm sitting right here in this very spot, alone in a room, and I eat my meat. Now, eat my meat. Don't you dare think I'm saying beat my meat, because I'm eating my meat, okay? And I'm eating my meat, and I take a little fork full of rice, and that tastes weird. Another fork full of rice. I don't think this rice is good. I try one more time. Why? Who's to say? I like to confirm. So I take one last third bite of rice and this rice is bad. That's it. If my leftovers are tasting this way, I need to go to Publix. Stop procrastinating. I need to go grocery shopping. So I go all then I see the Chipotle gourmet mayonnaise and blah, blah, blah. So I come home, I'm making my sandwich. I'm like, ooh, this sandwich about to be bussin'. So I eat my sandwich. I eat it within minutes. Oh, and it was delicious. It was so good. I was like, yeah, this mayonnaise with the onions. Oh, divine, okay? Cut to 20, 30 minutes later. My tummy says, Oh my God, my rice is making a comeback. I said, oh God, that's the rice. That 100%, that's the rice from last night. And that's 20 minutes after my meal when I feel cut to 5 minutes later, white knuckling the squatty potty. I am white knuckling, profusely sweating. It's one of the poops where I'm like taking off my entire clothes. I'm sitting there butt ass naked on the toilet, white knuckling that squatty potty. And an hour of just torturous hellfire emitting from the down south pole, okay? Hour of like just constant like white knuckling. I'm like, okay, that's gotta be it. I stand up, I go to wash my hands. Ooh, I'm not done. Sit my ass right back down. Cut to the next day. I come home. It's lunchtime. Ooh, you know what that means? It's sandwich time. It's sandwich time, everyone. So I pull out my bread, I put it on the plate, I pull out my deli meat, my Chipotle Gourmet's mayonnaise, and I'm about to slather up the meat on that piece of bread, and I said, oh, that's not the color bread should be. The bottom of the crust, hey, why is that blue? Why is the bottom of my bread blue? So I take that loaf of bread and I hold it up and okay, that's gonna be a patch of mold about that big. That big patch of mold on the bottom of my bread. It's like, suddenly everything starts falling into place. The pieces start clicking together. I said, so it actually wasn't the 2 mouthfuls of rice that I had 2 nights prior. It was actually going to be the moldy ass bread that I smacked down. Smackdown didn't even notice. And that's the story of the time. You just watched a TTI here on Alone in a Room. And that's the story of the time I ate moldy bread and had hellfire diarrhea for the next hour. I got home from work today. And did I have the same exact sandwich? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And it was divine. It was Lord. It was divine. And I'm watching an episode of Family Guy, promptly get tired, and I fall asleep. And then all that to say, I woke up in true gay fashion, had a sip of my watered down cold brew that I found in the bathroom that I left home. And here we are, feeling motivated and blessed. And once again, I'd like to point out, joined by the mother of dragons, because, oh my God, I saw this TikTok this morning at 4 a.m. when I should have been driving to work, but instead I was laying right here. I was laying right here, procrastinating the very last second until I had to leave. And I saw this TikTok of this game that's developed by like independent game artists. I think it started off as a solo project, and then it gradually, I believe now after a year of development, they have 6 full-time developers working on it, and it basically is like an open world Dragon Rider game. I want to say it was called Dragon Twin or The Beast. Gaga, no, that's not you. I'm not calling you. Not calling your hit song The Beast. Get back in there. Get back. Stay back. Stand by. I'm gonna find it for you guys. Oh, I found it. Dragon Twin. It's called Dragon Twin. In this time, this is the little TikTok video that's showing. In this time, it has grown from a solo developer's side project to a crowd-funded team effort with a small studio and a demo build in the hand of players. And y'all, look up this TikTok. If you even give a fuck, which I really think you should, if you like dragons or next-gen video games and open-world video games and you want to ride a freaking dragon, the physics look groundbreakingly beautiful. Nothing that a AAA studio has put out, I think, in a very long time. And I'm like, where are all these video game developers and where have they been? Because I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like kind of video games are becoming a little lackluster and unoriginal, and it's all the same fucking, oh, now we're open world, but like also it's the same fucking game. Because Breath of the Wild, not to be biased in this situation because I fucking love Zelda, but I feel like Breath of the Wild really pushed the mold on what truly articulates an open world video game. Go anywhere, do anything, whatever you put your mind to. Pushed even further with Tears of the Kingdom in terms of creation and having players like it truly, if you can concept, like visualize a concept on going somewhere, you can actually build the way to do it and do that. And people come up with ridiculous creations, innovations, and ways to kind of like trick this system, but also it's a system that's built to be tricked. But specifically with Breath of the Wild, post Breath of the Wild era, I feel like so many video game stories have been so hyper focused on open world and go anywhere, do anything but crafting. You like craft your equipment, and I'm like, oh my god, come up with an original concept. Okay, yes, it's an original story, or it's maybe has next gen graphics, but it all is kind of the same. Oh, this worked for Zelda, so like we have to make our own version of this. I believe a really popular example was, I may get my timeline wrong here, but I think a really popular example was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. When did that release? Because Breath of the Wild was a launch title for the Switch, and that released in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. I already have a whole bunch of things to look up. Initial release date was 2018 for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now, when did the Switch launch? Nintendo Switch was 2017. So the Switch came out a full year prior to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I get it. It takes a lot of time to develop these games. Breath of the Wild was in development for many, many years prior to the Switch launch, because it actually was announced. Again, I might get my timeline wrong here, I acknowledge that, but if I'm not mistaken, it had been in development since 2014, probably predating that. But that was when I believe the first showcase or the first official trailer of what would become Breath of the Wild had launched. And granted, it was a very different look game, how it looked to the final product. So I would probably argue that Assassin's Creed Odyssey came after Breath of the Wild and what its concept is, on top of like covering it up and blah, 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 blah. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, again, could be totally wrong. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know any better. I don't know. I'm just, who am I? And who am I to speak on this, you know? But it feels like Assassin's Creed Odyssey was kind of like the Assassin's Creed story version of doing what Breath of the Wild had done. Truly open world, crafting. Maybe I actually don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm actually very wrong, because I haven't played that game in a very long time, and I tried to pick it up a few weeks ago, only played it for like less than an hour before I quickly got bored and moved on. Give me 2 seconds. Let me think about what another game that tried to copy Breath of the Wild was. I am so right. All I did was look up games that copied Breath of the Wild. Number 8 on here was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That doesn't necessarily mean the game is bad or poor or that it is unoriginal. But in terms of gameplay and basic core functions of the game, yeah, I kind of copied Breath of the Wild. And I don't know, I feel like the current generation of video games is either mass multiplayer online, MMO, we learned this last episode, that MMO online shooters, kind of like Fortnite, Call of Duty, or Overwatch, those type of games, kind of like those battle type games. I feel like those are never going to go away in popularity, which kind of sucks, because it's kind of basically the same game, just updated year after year, so they sap you of your money, okay? But I'm like, where are the creative, unique, original story games? I'm talking Hades. What an astonishing game. And it has semi-unique gameplay, a roguelike dungeon crawler with a Greek mythology twist to it. Love. Am I mad that they're making a sequel to it? No. Because you guys know I'm a huge fan of Hades, and I loved the sequel, and I'm basically caught up on the sequel, just currently waiting the next update. Yeah, I think Tears of the Kingdom, because of Breath of the Wild's success, Tears of the Kingdom wanted to capitalize on that and expand it even further. They pushed their boundaries even further. I feel like these games are just taking what worked and just putting their own skin on it, you know? And there's not really any pushing of boundaries with these types of games. Maybe that's all I had to say on that. Why was I talking about that? For reasons unclear, I don't know how I got to this conversation. Oh, Dragon Twin. Oh, the Dragon Rider game. So yeah, I saw this TikTok of this new open world Dragon Rider game where you can actually battle on top of a dragon. Are my dogs showing at the bottom of the frame? I don't know, but down, boys. I think that is such a cool, innovative video game, and it's probably going to take years upon years for it to actually develop and like actually release, but I'm going to be following this thing like a dog. Oh my gosh, the beauty of this game was unmatched for such an early developmental stage. You can customize your own dragon rider. You can actually battle on top of the dragon and like burn down buildings. Oh my God. You can have like different types of dragons. You can have a dragon, a wyvern, wyrms. From my understanding, that it was funny because they put a little disclaimer in it that they don't discriminate on the number of legs, qualifying it as a dragon. And I was like, that is so funny because everyone obviously thinks dragon, they just think like large flying lizard that breathes fire. But there is a difference between dragon, wyvern, wyrms. I believe wyrms have no legs. Dragons have 4 legs, not including winged appendages. And then wyverns are, I feel like, the most popular depiction of quote unquote dragons, where they have 2 legs, but they use like, so, all right, here's a little dragon demonstration for you guys. If this is my dragon wing, how it has like the 3 claws at the end of the wing, but picture like the leathery, boom, boom, going back, and I flap like this, you know? They use kind of, when wyverns walk, they kind of use the little appendages on their wings as a second set of legs. So it kind of looks like they're walking like on their arms, whereas canonically correct dragons have 4 limbs, 4 legs, and then their appendages, whereas wyverns only have the 2, but walk on their winged appendages. But I feel like wyverns are the most general depiction of dragons, so I thought it was funny how the game put a little disclaimer that they don't discourage or... I said it earlier. You guys know what I'm talking about. So that's all I had to say about that. It was a really cool TikTok, and it's called Dragon Twin. Go find them on TikTok. I'm sure any type of interaction that you have with their social media will help them financially or just in terms of support so that they can continue doing what they're doing, because I surely will be looking forward to this game and keeping a close eye on it as development continues. Now, I want to pose a question for the masses. How come if I do this, the poop goes down, but if I don't do it, my toilet gets clogged? This has been really... When I do bender hands, why poop go down, but if I don't, toilet get clogged? This has really been weighing on my mind, you guys. Every time maybe I just take fat dumpies, but when I do that, it always flushes. But if I don't do it, if I forget to do it one day, God forbid, I gotta plunge, gotta whip out the old plunger. But that's just a question that's been laying on my mind. If you are a poop expert, if you are a plumber out there, or maybe even a bender, a hidden bender. Do we have any hidden air benders out there? Hidden water benders? Earth? No. I don't really care about firebenders. You can do what you will, okay? But any of the other 3 elements, hey, shout out below. Pen me down below, and let me know. So that was just a little quick idea that I wanted to throw out there. Another quick little topic that I wanted to tell you guys about was the other day I was on the floor at work, and I had I felt my phone buzzing, and when I'm at work, it automatically turns on my work focus, and I only have specific contacts that are allowed to buzz my phone when they reach out to me. That being including my parents. Now, I felt my phone ringing. I'm like, who calling me? Because I also have the setting where if someone calls me twice in a row, then it will bypass focus and like ring so it's do not disturb. You know what I mean. My phone started buzzing. And I go, who calling me? So I look and I see it's my mother. And I said, oh, politely decline. Hey, I'm at work right now. Can't really talk. I'll be off in 30 minutes. Call you back. So put my phone away. I'm getting in my car. I'm like getting ready to call my mom. So she left me a voicemail. And And I listened to the voicemail, and basically was her explaining, oh, I heard on the radio today, and then she threw in this little tidbit, and I was like, you didn't really have to say that, but it's all good. She goes, not that I necessarily believe in it, because it's a little woo-woo-woo-woo, but I saw this or heard this little tidbit on the radio today about Tauruses and how in the coming months, or in the coming month, if you're a Taurus, someone from your past will reach out. So she was telling me, be on the lookout for that and let me know if that happens. Now, I might not necessarily want to let her know that this specific interaction happened, but I was like, oh, that's a little silly, because I called her back and she was like, oh, did you hear my message about the Taurus? I said, of course I did. And she was like, oh, yeah, let me know if that happens. Or she goes, has anyone reached out from your past yet? And I was like, apart from you? No. Like, you called me 30 minutes ago and told me that. Like, nobody's reached out to me since. But I was like, no, apart from you, no one's reached out from my past. Cut to yesterday, I got a random Snapchat from a previous hookup. Not necessarily hookup, but it was like online flirtations, okay? And he had reached out to me out of the blue. And I said, oh, I was like, wait a minute, this is not someone from my past. Not my horoscope coming true. Okay, what? That's a little creepy. Oh, I'm a little off put. But this was someone that I actually went on one date with. And I think the date went great. We had a great little makeout session at the end, and it was awesome. And he's very, very attractive. And he had reached back out to me, and I feel like we kind of stopped talking because I would reach out, and I got like not really anything back. So I was like, also, he lived in like a town that's maybe an hour away. Crazy. Hey, that's crazy. I'm not going to put in the effort to go over there. You're probably not going to put in the effort to go over here. But if I'm in the area, I'll pen you. I'll drop a comment down below and let you know. But I fear that when I was in the area and I would try to like, not hook up in that sense, but when I would try to hook up with him, I wasn't really getting anything back. And so I was like, oh, okay, it's fizzling out. All good. It probably wasn't going to happen anyway, you know? So he reached back out to me, and I was like, oh, I'm so taken aback. And recently he's been asking like, oh, how have you been? And I'm like, I've been good. Kind of doing a lot better now that you're reaching back out. I've been craving this a little bit. I've been craving some release for a little bit. And I just thought that was silly, and I will keep you guys updated and invested on this story. I'm sure nothing major is going to come of it. Don't expect too much unless he's moving to Orlando, but I doubt that's happening because he has a wonderful job there, and he's very happy, and you know what? Fuck him. Fuck him for being happy and living a town away, because it's actually a sick joke on Connor, okay? And here I am I've been like self-loving lately. As you guys probably tell, yes, I did get a haircut. Thank you, and shout out to all my coworkers that didn't say a fucking word. But as soon as my manager walked in, they go, oh, your hair. I said, oh, okay. You know what? I'd like to exemption on that. Deanna noticed day of. I think a group of 8 of us hung out one night, and Deanna was the only one that said anything. And I was like, yeah, thanks to all you guys that didn't say anything. And Deanna's the only one that complimented still. So if you're listening out there and you work with me and you didn't say nothing about my haircut, fuck you, okay? Now, going back. Hey, going back to where? I've been in this little self-love era. And I was telling my hairdresser, as I was getting my haircut, I was like, you want to hear something really funny? We all know I've been playing on Discord with my coworkers lately. I've been filming myself a lot. And I've been seeing myself on camera a lot lately. And sometimes I just look at myself and I'm like, I have a beautiful face. And I have a gorgeous smile. And I have like a smile that makes me want to smile, you know? And I'm in this like, oh, I am very attractive. And you know what? I was talking to my therapist, hey, no more therapy for this guy, apparently, because he was like, we're at the end of coaching. And I was like, okay, see ya, I guess. Anyway, but that's another point. But I kind of had this realization, and I'm going to try to remember exactly how I spoke to him about it. But let's role play for a minute. You guys are my former therapist, And he's asking me what kind of progress I made since we've started coaching. And I responded and said that when I began coaching therapy, I was going through a really rough patch. I was feeling very lonely and I was craving attention, romantically speaking. And I wanted to be confident in talking about romantic endeavors and sexual encounters and stuff like that, because I have a deep-seated uncomfortableness with that and that kind of vulnerability. But I feel lately I've made so much growth that since the last purge of my dating apps, I kind of came to this realization and conclusion that I have been seeking shallow attention in shallow places. Meaning I would go to Grindr for physical affirmation on my own body and hoping and yearning for a long-term relationship from apps that aren't based for that. They're based around hookups and one-time thing only. Granted, there are rare cases where people actually do find love in the love of their life. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. No, yeah, you guys be so happy. That's really cool, really cool. But when I was feeling self-conscious about my body, or if I was feeling that I was too skinny and that I wasn't attractive, I tended to revert to going to these apps and these dark places on the internet for shallow attention to get kind of physical affirmations. And then I'm surprised why I feel icky and yucky when I got that, but it didn't make me feel better. It made me feel gross and slimy. And I'm like, that's not who I am, nor what I'm looking for, you know? But since I purged all those apps many months ago, I just have been seeing myself in kind of this new light. And sure, I have those days where I look at myself in the mirror and I think that I'm too skinny or I'm not attractive or anything like that. But I kind of now see it as a motivator instead of, oh, well, my chest doesn't look defined, and so I'm unattractive in that way. Instead of thinking in that kind of sense, I've been looking at myself and seeing, oh, maybe my chest is undefined. That's a motivator to start working on my chest a little bit more. Maybe I don't think my arms are big enough, so I'll start lifting weights a little bit more. Doing more bicep exercises. And it's kind of this weird shift in my mind and my thinking process. And I feel so adult. Do I feel so adult thinking about it? Yes, I do. And it's kind of crazy because I've been feeling a lot better. Feeling a lot better about it. Feeling really good. But also feeling really lonely still. And I've had cravings to go back to these dating apps and blah, 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 blah. And ooh, my train of thought just went so far away. I got so distracted. Thus saith the Lord, and since you refuse to be my people, all through the land of Egypt, I send the pestilence and plague into your house, into your bed, into your streams, into your streets, into your drink, into your bread, upon your cattle, upon your sheep, upon your oxen in the field, until you break, until you yield. I send the swarm, I send the horde, thus saith the Lord. Now, we all know I'm not religious, okay? We all know this. But when the Prince of Egypt soundtrack comes on, Lord, thank you, Lord. Oh, Lord, free my people. Free my people from the clutches of Pharaoh, from Ramses, the encapsulator. Lord, free my people. So that's kind of where I am at with my personal journey. I just got so sidetracked. Full ADHD kicking. I just literally was like, oh, iPad baby screen, my screen time. I said I need to up my screen time. Guilty pleasures on TikTok. That's where I wanted to go. So we all know I woke up from a nap today. We all know I scrolled for 2.5 hours on TikTok, procrastinating, okay? And I have been procrastinating this a lot, and I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying not to play Wizard 101 as much because that's taking up most of my free time outside of work, okay? Am I gonna apologize for it? No, because I'm just an adult living my little happy little life. But I have recently become aware of the different guilty pleasures that I have on TikTok lately. Number one is gonna be customer service, but in the sense of when, like, When someone working a front desk will prop their phone up like this and they'll just record a whole interaction between a customer and themselves and them just not giving a flying fuck and calling the customer out on their bullshit. Oh, it's so good. I have no idea how much of it is fake. There's been a lot of discourse about specifically the nail salon videos because everyone's like, oh, all of those are so fake. They're so fake. They're not real interactions. And like, it doesn't go down that way and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I do not care. It is so entertaining to watch like an entitled person, even if it's a fake one. If they're fake, hey, I gotta say, pretty decent actors, pretty decent improv actors in my mind. But they're like, oh, like, how much is the set gonna be? And they're like, okay, it's gonna be $145. And they're like, oh no, but it's supposed to be free, right? Like today's my birthday. It's supposed to, girl, no, it's not gonna be free. And we talked about the price before. And maybe they're like 3.5 minute long videos and I'm sad for each and every second because I love it. I kind of live vicariously through the customer service worker because I am really poor at standing up for myself and standing up for like calling people out on their bullshit. Working in customer service, especially in retail and food service industry, I am piss poor at standing up for myself. And I'm like, no, you're so right. You're so right. Yes, a tall size should legally fit in a venti cup. I should be giving you venti proportions even though you've paid for a tall size. No, absolutely. Absolutely. I apologize. My fault. And I kind of live vicariously through these. I don't care if they're fake or not, but so the nail salon videos have then bled into, I'm now on insurance workers and phone line operators that are dealing with tricky customers. Like I watched this one chick for maybe like 30 minutes and she's an insurance worker and people calling in filing claims and she's kind of like running background and like trying to get the story straight. And they'll be filing claims that like, oh, our car was hit and run, but she kind of like finds the holes in the stories. She's like, but your car's in the shop for getting motor oil on the windshield. Like, how does that add up? And they're like, oh, but that happened before the hit and run. Okay, but did you file a claim for it? And they're like, oh, no. And oh, they're so entertaining. Because I'm like, I just love knowing the tea. I love being in on the tea. And what is also being in on the tea? Watching Judge Judy. I will admit it, and I will come out to you guys. I am a Judge Judy stan. Hey, just a second. And I will watch people like imitate her because she has like these vocal inflections that she doesn't necessarily do like these giant theatrical facial expressions, but people will add those on to the sounds and they'll be lip syncing to her, be like, I would like to see the police report. We didn't phone the police. Why not? Why not? Were you drinking? No, ma'am, we weren't. Were you drugging? No, ma'am, we weren't. Oh, entertainment at its finest. And I love knowing small claims courts. I will sit down and watch part 1 through 25 of one Judge Judy case. I will be scrolling as long as there's not like super jump cuts or like crazy editing to like avoid copyright claims or anything like that. I will sit there and I will go to the profile, go all the way part 1 and swipe to watch the entire thing. Especially if each video, each part, quote unquote, is over 3 minutes long. Because then I put my phone down, I'm listening to the beef and the tea, and I'm cleaning my room. I'm doing chores while listening to Judge Judy. I wish some streaming platform had Judge Judy on it because I would be sat and locked in. That would be my Family Guy. That would be me eating dinner watching Judge Judy clips. Oh, maybe I'm a middle-aged mom. Maybe I'm a middle-aged mom prepping dinner at 2:30 a.m. while the kids come home from school and I'm in the kitchen chopping bell peppers. What do you guys know about bell peppers? I've recently been into bell peppers. I started buying bell peppers and I started crafting and creating them for my dinner and enjoyment for my meals. And I lightly saute them. I like a good crunchy bell pepper. And I throw some onion powder on them and some garlic salt. Oh, that's all it needs. No, actually, scratch that. I throw onion powder and... Yeah, onion powder is what it's called. I throw a little bit of onion powder on them, but then I actually saute in real onions with it because we're going back to what I said before. I'm putting onions on everything, brother. I'm putting onions on everything and mixing them in with bell peppers and lightly sauteing those bitches. I'm having it in pasta. I'm having it in rice. I'm having it with meat. I am having bell peppers night and day because they are delicious. And I feel like I've had this like inherent like, because I feel like my parents used to always not overly cook them to the point where they're burned, but to the point where they're mushy. And I'm like, I'm not about that. I want a good crunch. And like I mentioned in my pub sub before, I've been putting extra green bell peppers, but why have I never prepped them before? Who's to say? The reason I started buying them and prepping them was because it all goes back to TikTok. It all goes back to TikTok. Tic-tac-toe, a winner. And I saw a TikTok of this guy being like, why is everyone saying that it's so hard to prep bell peppers? I'm gonna show you exactly how to do them. Boom, you cut the thing off. You push the stem out. Set that aside for later. You lay it flat, you cut it in half. Boom, you set one half down, flatten it. And then you chop it up into lines and then you dice it. Easy, you're on to the next step. Smash it, long ways, sideways, boom, next to the side. So I said, now I must try this because it looks so easy, I have to try it. I did a little Costco run and I picked up a bag of bell peppers that had 2 red, 2 orange, 2 yellow. And I was like, that might be a lot of bell peppers, but we'll make do. We'll see how it goes. First attempt, massive success. And you know what time I cooked them? Let me hear your guesses. What time do we think Connor cooked his bell peppers for the first time? Okay, yeah, I'm hearing 8:30 p.m. Great guess. I'm hearing 6:45. Okay, I'm hearing 2:30 because I'm a middle-aged mom. You wish I had that level of prep and meal planning. It was 11:30 at night is when I made my bell peppers for the first time. And I'm in my kitchen, clop, clop, clop. That's the knife on the cutting board. Clop, clop, clop. And I'm trying to do it as quietly as possible because it's 11:30 at night and I just got off a fresh play session of Wizard 101 and I got hungry. So I said, time for bell peppers, obviously. Clop, clop, clop. I felt so guilty. I felt so bad. I thought I was waking up my roommates. But lightly sauteed them and commercial success. That's actually going to be a standard for Connor's meals now. And I hate meal prepping. It's one of my least favorite things about cooking. Not meal prepping, but I hate prepping to cook. Because, you have to get all the ingredients ready, marinating, and like chopping everything up before you actually start cooking it. I hate that because it's just so many dishes. It's so many dishes. And I even do dishes while I cook. I know the hack, but I still hate doing it. But I fear that this is going to be a staple in all my cooking because I had fun doing the prep for it. Cutting it up, I felt like a real chef. I feel like a real housewife, living on my dream life, housewife. Oh yeah, I have been really into them. And there's so many leftovers that, like I said, I could put it in every meal and it works. It just works so well. Now, I promised you guys I would give you an update on my Skyrim vinyl situation. Let's get some guesses, okay? I once again offer the microphone to the audience. Let's hear your opinion, okay? Do we think that I got my vinyl? Ladies, you know what I mean, and you know what you need, and so does he. But did he get the vinyl? No! But did he get the vinyl? No! Well, what I really need is an Elder Scrolls V vinyl. Oh, what? Elder Scrolls V Skyrim vinyl. And you know what? I'm going to my local record store and I'm hitting them up like Ron Papa Bomb. I'm cooking them up like Papa John. Oh, what do you mean you're telling me it got delayed to May 2nd? To May 2nd? Why do I have on my notes that it was going to be delivered April 11th? And how it all went down was I was feeling extra confrontational. My hairdresser gave me some great advice on how to approach them and respectfully and politely say, hey, I just want to know what's going on. Because I've ordered this months ago, it keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed, and I love being a customer. And at this place, I will be coming back. You guys haven't lost my business or anything, but I do feel like something is going on and I'm feeling unsatisfied as a customer. So how can we rectify this situation? How can we make me, the customer, feel better? And I could have said that just the way I told you guys. What did I do? I chickened out. Because why? A man chimed in to our conversation and it made me feel really comfortable. Because I'm just a little girl. I just want my I don't want to be a Karen, and I don't want them to like think of me that way when I walk into the store, because I've started frequenting there pretty much just to like browse around. And I always try to be very extra respectful to the employees anywhere I go. That's any customer service facility that I go. I try to be extra respectful to employees because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of dipshits that think they are entitled and think that you work for them. No, I most certainly do not. You do not pay my paycheck. So I do not work for you. I work to help you, okay? So I always try to emulate that energy of, I appreciate you taking the time to help me out here, but like, what can we do to rectify this situation? I don't know if that, because I don't want a refund or anything. I still want the product whenever it ships, whenever it gets here, but there is a problem that I kind of need, like, I don't want to ask specifically for compensation, but because I don't want to feel entitled to compensation. But you know what I'm trying to say? I just don't want to come off as some entitled Karen that's being that way. And I was telling my hairdresser all this, and she was saying, as someone that works in customer service and the service industry, it's all about tonality and how you respect them. So she gave me a few pointers on, listen, I know this isn't you, but you're the only person right now that I can kind of air some grievances out and explain how I'm feeling and how I'm feeling dissatisfied as a customer. And you're just the only outlet for that reason. And she made me feel so good. And I was like, yes, okay, I'm going to go to this. And if they delay it again, this is the day prior. I was like, if they delay it again, okay, I know what to say and I know how to approach it in a respectful way. So I approached, next day comes in, I go to my record store and I asked them, I said, and I says to them, says I call them. That was a Darius Girls reference because I feel like my story is doing this. It's going in circles. What would Jim Lewis say? Land the plane. So I will do that. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father above. He's not dead. I was talking about God. But I entered my record store and I went up and I was like, hey, I just got a quick question for y'all. I pre-ordered a record in person here months ago, and it kept getting delayed, and today was the day that it was supposed to come in, but I still haven't received a call or text, so I just want to like check in, see where it's at. And the woman that helped me, she goes, oh, I vaguely remember talking to you. You ordered the Skyrim vinyl, right? And I said, yes, I most certainly did. She was like, remind me of your name. And I was like, it's Connor. You ordered in store. I did. Okay, let me check with our little like shipping distributor. So she's checking and I'm like, okay, like that's fine. And because I was like, that means it's not in today and I will be leaving the store empty-handed, which ended up not being true, but I will get there in a second. So she's checking and I'm browsing around and I see there was a Lindsey Sterling vinyl that is the last one that I wanted. It was on sale, it was used, and so it was like $10 cheaper. And so I pick it up and I'm standing there and she was like, so the date that I have is May 2nd. My heart sinks because now it's time to be confrontational. While I was feeling confrontational, all that courage, hope, and adamance, it vanished because I don't like being a confrontational person. And so I said, oh, okay, maybe that was the date that you guys gave me, but like I had in my phone for a few weeks that was April 11th, so I don't know where that mix-up happened, but do we know, is there a reason that it keeps getting delayed? I'm starting to like toe the line on confrontation. And that's when the man chimed in and he looked intimidating and I get intimidated by men. And so he was like, and he kind of had this attitude that I was like, okay, I'm not going to talk back to him. Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he was like, we truly can't say, like, sometimes it's just not ready to be printed. Sometimes it's not ready to be pressed. It's just the distributor's not ready to send it out. Like, we truly don't know what the reason is. We just get it when we get it. And I could have, like, looking back, there's some grievances I have with that answer, because if it's available for pre-order and I'm given a date that it should be shipped by, why is it that date being pushed back if it's not ready to be pressed? Why is it available to order? Why am I given the opportunity to purchase this? I'm giving my money to get this by a specific date, and if it's not ready to be shipped by then, hey, I paid to have it shipped by then. So regardless on whether you're making 5 copies or 500 copies, if someone gives you the money to fulfill a service and receive a product by a specific date, even if it's ordering 1 or 100. Like I said, if I'm just one person, I gave you the money, you should be pressing it and sending it to me. But of course I didn't say that because he intimidated me, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And I just didn't want to put up too much of an argue because, again, I know it's not their fault. It's more so the distributor's fault. But like, I paid for the product. I should be receiving the product by the time you told me to receive the product. So what did I do? I said, oh, okay, thank you. Anyway, I'm going to purchase this vinyl. I'm still giving you guys my money in my business right now. Thank you so much. And I left with the Lindsey Sterling vinyl. Was I a little disappointed leaving that store? Yeah, because I was really hoping to have my ambient video game soundtrack vinyl. Oh, it didn't go well. And I actually had to get a cleanup on my haircut from the day prior. So I walked in and I go, it did not go well at the record store today. She was like, oh no, what happened? I told her the whole story. I was like, I chickened out. I got so shy and scared by the confrontation, and I'm so like ashamed with myself. But I feel like now that I've been telling this story to a few friends and I've gained confidence in my retorts, so to speak, I gained confidence in my ability to come back with a counter argument on whatever they might throw at me. I feel like I might have a little more confidence. Maybe I just got to rehearse my lines before I go in for my next confrontational approach, because I'm putting down on my calendar, you mark my words, literally on the calendar, mark my words, May 2nd is when the Skyrim vinyl comes in. If it gets delayed one more time, then I have a way to come back in a polite and respectful way. I'm not going to yell at the service workers because, again, it's not their fault. That kind of is where I stand. And I thank you guys for joining me today. Like I said, in true gay fashion, we've had cold brew. We've had Lady Gaga's appearances. No, Gaga, get back in the closet. Back in the closet, I say. And not the metaphorical one. You can be whoever you want to be, Gaga. And you are an ally, I know that. But you're staying back there. Thank you so much, Gaga. So with that, I bid y'all adieu. And to close us out, I would like to welcome back a very special guest. And you know exactly who it is. Girl, come on out here. Hey, it's me, Ethel Kane. I bet you were expecting Lady Gaga to come out, but I know Connor, and he has a few tricks up his sleeves, so I'm the surprise guest appearance. 2, 3, 4.
I followed you in, and I was with you there. I invited you in. Twice, I did. You love blood too much. But not like I do. Heard you, saw you, felt you, gave you, love you, need you, love you, saw you, gave you, love you, love you, love you, love you.
What have you done? Stop, make it stop, make it stop. I've had enough. Stop. All right, thank you so much for joining. Tune in to Alone in a Room again next week. Bye-bye. Thank you, Ethel. Thank you so much for that guest star appearance. Yeah, y'all, I got my Ethel Kane vinyl. And you know what? Dare I say it kind of makes up for the Skyrim vinyl being gone, because, oh my gosh, I've had this thing spinning. I've had this record spinning. Side D, I've just had on repeat. I'll play like the entire album from start to finish. Side A, side B, side C, side D. But side D is Sun Bleach Flies into Strangers. And as soon as that track ends, I tend to just press start again on my record player. Just start it up one more time. Play back, one more time. 2 more times, 3 more times. Such good vinyl. Go support Ethel Kane. Go buy Preacher's Daughter, the physical version. I believe it made it to the Billboard top 10s. But as being like in vinyls? What was it? Ethel Kane lands her first ever top 10 on the Billboard 200 as Preacher's Daughter hits #1 on the Billboard top album sales following its first vinyl release. Because this has been the first time that this album, Preacher's Daughter, has been sold and distributed in a physical format. So congratulations, Ethel Kane, I love you. Hayden and Adonia, congratulations from little old Connor. And I wish you all the happiness and all the congratulations that I can offer you from me as I sit all alone in a room. So thank you guys for tuning in. Again, big shout out. Go support Ethel Kane. Go support Dragon Twin, that video game. Go look them up on TikTok. Give them a like. Give them a follow. I certainly have. And that's it. See y'all. See you next week. Bye-bye, y'all.